Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the Ironman profile. In today's video, we're beginning the hunt for a copper dye. Currently, it is 3x'd, which means we have 3 times higher chance to drop it. And maybe I'm a little bit delusional, but I thought we should go for it today. So we're in the farm. We're going to be gardening a bunch, working towards some composter upgrades, and who knows, maybe even dropping an RNG drop. So if you guys are excited for all that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Super quickly, though, if you do ever find yourself checking out the Hypixel store for the upcoming Armoron Armadillo skin, a brand new fire sale. It kind of swaps between a bunch of crazy colors. The preview's bugging out a little bit. There it is. But yeah, if you find yourself picking up Skyblock gems to get this thing in a couple days, don't forget to use my career code. It is code Zach, spelled just like my name, Z-A-C-H. If you type that in on checkout, you'll actually save 5% on your purchase. It's a great way to support myself and the channel, and I do greatly appreciate everyone using my code. You guys are the best. But without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. So today we're going to be hopping into the garden, because if we come over to Vincent, every year he has 3 dyes that are basically have a higher chance to be dropped. 2 of them have double the chance to be dropped. So for example, the fossil dye went from 1 in 500k to 1 in 250k, and 1 dye is 3x'd, meaning it has a 3 times more likely chance to be dropped. So from uncommon visitors, the copper dye is, instead of 1 in 100,000, 1 in 33,000. So this is the best possible chance to be going for a copper dye if you want one. And since I have a lot of garden left ahead of me, I figured, you know what, let's put some time actually going for this thing during the Skyblock year. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be trying to accept as many visitors as possible. I honestly can't remember the last time I denied one. I just need to work on getting more visitors accepted for Skyblock XP anyways, so this kind of lines up. But yeah, we have a lot of visitors to accept. Hopefully we can get lucky today. Some of the odds on some of these, like if we get a legendary, only 1 in 8,300. It's really not terrible when you think about it. We just need to put some time in. So I say we head over to the garden and get started. Okay, so since our next composter upgrade requires 448 enchanted cookies, which is like roughly 60,000 enchanted cocoa beans, I've been farming cocoa beans for the last few hours, and that is actually cocoa bean milestone 30, which is pretty cool. Also a bunch of pest spawn. I'll have to get those when I get to the end of this row. But yeah, just been doing my best to accept as many visitors as possible. Obviously trying to go for squash, as we just got one in chat there. And then getting a few pieces of Skyblock XP. I went up a cactus milestone, a cocoa beans milestone, and I want to say I went up one more. I can't remember which crop. Netherwort. I went up a netherwort milestone as well. So yeah, a couple of Skyblock XP from there. Obviously, we did our last composter upgrade yesterday. I think I still need some more condensed fermento. I was looking ahead at like how many we need for our entire composter, and it's just a lot. Like, you just need so much fermento for all that, and then we still obviously need 256 squash. We're currently at 35 though, and I had like 5 earlier today when I hopped in the garden, so we're getting somewhere. But it is definitely a little bit slow and tedious. Squash have been kind of the worst grind I've had to do on the garden so far, to be completely honest, but we're making some decent progression, and once we get this last 256, then we are done with squash forever, so hopefully we can get there soon. So I've been farming cocoa bean for a few hours now, and I think I have all the enchanted cocoa bean I need for this next composter upgrade, which should be, I think it was 51,000. If we do recipe cookie, I need 448 of these things, if I'm not mistaken, and that requires, oh, 57,000. Okay, I'm not quite there on the enchanted cocoa bean front, which is okay though, because I'm only up to a little under 2,800 copper, and I believe I also need 3,600 copper for this composter upgrade. Everything's just getting so expensive, but I know once we're done our composter, we can basically just spend all of our copper after that on green thumb books, and then also we can finally just prioritize crop milestones, because right now I'm still running all over the place doing visitors, which I'm going to be doing, but I'll be able to like stock up on certain crops and yeah, kind of just do a lot of that. And then once we're done with crop milestones, we can go ahead and get our space helmet and be done with the garden, basically, is kind of the overall plan. Obviously, that's the very simplified version, because it still requires tens, if not over 100 hours of farming. So yeah, a lot of work still to go, but we're getting somewhere. We are, and our cocoa bean milestone's finally starting to catch up a little, being cocoa bean 30. Obviously, it's still, is it still my lowest? It might be my lowest crop still, which is kind of insane, because I feel like I've been farming a ton of cocoa beans. Yeah, it's tied for my lowest with cactus, so technically cactus is my lowest, but yeah, I have a good way to go with cocoa bean, I suppose. It's kind of insane to think about looking at the top list there, but Either way, has to get done at some point. I'm also getting some squash. I think I almost have a stack of squash now, which is really good. So obviously I still need 3 more stacks to be done with that. So yeah, just a bunch of farming still to do, but we're making decent progress. Okay, I was just farming, and I was doing some corpses with this guy a couple days ago, and he actually found a Vanguard corpse, like, ridiculously quick. He came to my garden and asked if I needed any, and I said I'd need one, actually, and then, like, a minute later, he found one. But either way, we do have 1 skeleton key to use. We have a Vanguard corpse right here. My Glacite Golem's equipped. Let's see if we get lucky. What do we have here? Wait, mine's 500k. That's not even bad. An Umber Plate, 2 Glacite Amalgamations, Flawless Citron, 4 Scrap, and 50,000 powder. I don't really need the powder. I mean, I do still need a bunch of powder, but honestly, the fact we only lost 500k somehow is not terrible whatsoever. I guess what gave us so much money, it gave us 12 million worth of, wait, fine Parrot, 320 fine Peridot is actually insane. Wait, that's actually a ton. Well, thank you, kind sir. That is actually huge. Did we basically get like a perfect worth of Peridot? Is that what happened here? That's exactly what happened here. We got a ton of fine Peridot. Don't mind if we do. I'll actually take that. Nothing amazing to kind of summarize to this guy. An Umber Plate, 2 Glacite Amalgamations, a bunch of fine gemstones, but other than that, nothing too crazy. I believe we finally have everything I need for this next composter upgrade. Man, the composter is actually so, like, resource intensive. Let me know in the comments down below how many of you guys have actually put any copper resources into yours. I don't really gain anything besides Skyblock XP, obviously, but it's kind of like a big thing I want to get done. Otherwise, I'm not really ever going to be in a position to make money from farming. I just want to make sure I've used all the crops needed for Composter, and then I can actually start selling extra crops besides melon, for example, because we're going to be giving all that to the spaceman. But luckily, I've been able to farm a bunch of cocoa beans today. In fact, we're pretty close to our next milestone. I'm at nearly 8 million out of 9 million towards our next one, so we've made some decent progression on that front. Let me go ahead and grab these pests really quickly, but yeah, without the Finnegan perk giving extra copper, I forgot how slow it is to actually get copper for one of these upgrades. Like, getting 3,600 actually took a good while. Like, I'm pretty sure I've gone up over 100 visitors today. Yeah, I've accepted over 109 visitors today, which basically is like the equivalent of like 5 or 6 hours of constantly farming. So yeah, it's been a little bit slow, but has to be done. Let's find our last pest really quickly, and let's head over to the composter. There we go. Let's go over here. Have a couple of visitors. Maybe a copper dye, please. Some biofuel. It's basically the same thing, right? But a little bit of copper there for us. But we should have everything needed for this organic matter cap 23. This is the second last upgrade, I believe, in this tier. So let's go ahead and do recipe. Actually, I know I need to go farm wheat really quickly. Okay, we are not entirely done. We need 7 condensed fermentos, which I have. 3,600 copper. I just realized I need to go and farm a little bit of wheat, because if I go ahead and do this times 448, yeah, I need 14,000 wheat. This should literally only take me like a second though. Let me go gather that up, and then we can finally upgrade this thing. Okay, I should have all the wheat now, so let's go recipe. Let me double check, actually. It is 448, right? It is. That is an absurd amount of cookies, but it has to be done. Let's go and craft 448 of these things. 57,000 enchanted cocoa beans, 14,000 wheat. Boom. There we go. We did that. We can grab that out of our sacks. That, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how many stacks that actually is. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stacks of enchanted cookies. Each stack is worth 5 mil. How much to NPC are these worth? 4 mil? So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 mil to NPC worth of enchanted cookies. And then, not to mention, that's excluding the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 condensed fermentos, which are also 2.25 million to NPC. So yeah, if you look at the combined total of everything we're putting in here, like the 30 mil worth of enchanted cookies, 15 mil worth of condensed fermentos, this is an expensive upgrade, like nearly 50 mil worth of materials, but in return we'll get 4 Skyblock XP. So let's go and do this. Boom, there we go. We got our 4 Skyblock XP, and we now only have 1 more tier left in the organic matter cap. It wants 14 condensed fermento and 160 enchanted cactus and 4,000 copper. Honestly, the 4,000 copper is probably the most tedious out of that. The condensed fermento, though, that is a lot of fermento, so I might actually need to start farming some more crops that give that, because right now I'm kind of running low. I underestimated how far this would go. I mean, For that one tier, this is 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. That's only enough for one of these. And there's going to be 5 tiers of 14 condensed fermento, not to mention the 7 you need before that, and then the 4, and then 2, 1. So yeah, I need a lot more fermento. I didn't really realize, but I guess now I know. Either way, pretty happy with that. 4 more Skyblock XP. That puts us up to, I believe, 36 once this updates to out of 100. So we're getting somewhere towards level 444. But yeah, man, getting XP on the garden is tedious to say the least. Okay, I hop back into the cocoa bean farm, and any second now, we should be cocoa beans 31. There we go. Another 9 million cocoa beans to the next tier to 32. But yeah, I've been farming a ton of this stuff today, mainly because I finally want to clear my composter upgrades of squash, because staring at these two, like, level 18 composter upgrades has just been a little bit sad. Like, if you look at these, like, we have speed and multi-drop both on tier 18 out of 25. This one hasn't updated yet to 24 because we already did this one. But, yeah, these two are just so far behind. And, like, the cost of fermentos and copper early on for, like, nearly the same amount of XP is just very worthwhile once we get through these 2 squash barricades, basically. So we're working our way there, and I went from having, like, no squash when I started farming this morning to now having 79. So we're getting somewhere, but in that time, I did go up over a full, maybe even 2 cocoa bean milestones, so it's not quick by any means, but we're getting somewhere, and unfortunately, it looks like we didn't get lucky with the copper dye today. I'm still going to try and farm here and there over the next few days, just while copper dye is 3x. The fact that it's only 1 in 33,000 from an uncommon is very promising. Like, for example, that Ryu visitor who wants wheat, it literally could be in this guy's menu. So let's go ahead and take a look, please. Give it to me. That would have been an insane way to end off the day, but unfortunately, no copper dye today. We're going to have to keep on trying for it. It's just like the best possible odds to drop it right now. Like, if we look, 1 in 33,000 from uncommon, all the way up to a 1 in basically 8.3k from legendary. You don't see mythic and special tier visitors very often, and I can't really get a spaceman right now since I already have one sitting there that I've given stuff to. But either way, we're trying. We're trying our best for it. It's the best possible time to get it, so it's definitely worth a shot. So, unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today's video. As I said, though, I'm going to keep trying to go for a copper dye a little bit throughout this Aatrox and the Skyblock year. I am, however, about to go attempt to do some Blaze Slayer right after I'm done recording today's video, so expect that in tomorrow's, because, yeah, currently it's a full perk Aatrox, so 20% more often to get rare drops, 25% more Slayer XP, and half the price to start Slayer quests, and currently I'm only Blaze 8, so I still have a lot of work to do there. About 960 more bosses if we're taking into account the extra Slayer XP, so I've got some Blaze Slayer ahead of me, but unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today. So hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to use code Zach when checking out in the Hypixel store for the upcoming fire sale. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, and peace out.